Good evening, friends. Thank you for dipping your toes into our gathering this evening. I'm Reverend Julie Brooks, and I am joined this evening by my sisters of the stream, Reverend Claudia Kohn and Reverend Nura Hirmina. I also want to thank David Renata, the captain of our Zoom pontoon. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the waterways near my home. The Great Lake, Ontario, the pleasant banks of the Genesee River, and the string of Finger Lakes where First Nations people, the Wenrow, and later the Haudenosaunee, nurtured and nourished their communities. Aho. Lao Tzu hails in the Tao Te Ching, "Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it." Friends, tonight we invite you to wade into the way, to float in the flow of agua divina, meandering a watercourse of sights and sounds, honoring the wisdom of water in various forms. There's nothing for you to do in this next hour. Rather, you're invited to sit or lay back and simply receive what might bubble up inside of you or perhaps wash over you. Whether you enjoy the serenity of a peaceful pond, the excitement of whipping waves, or the steady sanitizing spray of your early morning shower, after tonight's experience, we invite you to wonder, where does the water take you, and where does it leave you? For now, let's duck into and be with the soothing sound of rainfall.
Blessing for Water by Starhawk. Praise and gratitude to the sacred waters of the world, to the oceans, the mother of life, the womb of the plant life that freshens our air with oxygen, the brew that is stirred by sunlight and the moon's gravity into the great currents and tides that move across the earth, circulating the means of life, bringing warmth to the frozen Arctic and cool, fresh winds to the tropics. We give thanks for the blessed clouds and the rain that brings the gift of life to the land, that eases the thirst of roots, that grows the trees and sustains life even in the dry desert. We give thanks for the springs that bring life-giving water up from the ground, for the small streams and creeks, for the mighty rivers. We praise the beauty of water, the sparkle of the sunlight on a blue lake, the shimmer of moonlight on the ocean's waves, the white spray of the waterfall. We take delight in the sweet singing of the dancing stream and the roar of the river in the flood. We ask help to know within ourselves all the powers of water, to wear down and to build up, to ebb and to flow, to nurture and to destroy, to merge and to separate. We know that water has great powers of healing and cleansing, and we also know that water is vulnerable to contamination and pollution. We ask help in our work as healers, in our efforts to ensure that the waters of the world run clean and run free, that all the earth's children have the water they need to sustain abundance of life. Blessed be the water.
Water is the earth's soul. It is the limitless manifestation of generosity, giving life and spiritual nourishment in its endless passage through our lives. Water is the source and sustainer of living beings. It is the element for healing, distillation, and foundation. In all its forms of liquid, solid, or gas, water has the ability to find its place and purpose to bring expansion and growth. In non-physical forms, we speak of streams of consciousness, wells of emotion, pools of imagination, all implying depth and movement. What flows, 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 the mind, the water, the soul. This is a holy trinity that is both many and one. There's a stream near my house where my feet seem to take me, across which I have strung prayer flags, and next to which I spend time listening, watching, and learning. Recently, I've been thinking about the age of that stream water, if one could actually measure such a thing. I'm watching this water tumble over pebbles and rocks, rushing down from a spring in the hills above, past me and onward to a distant river. These waters, mixed with other streams entering the river, will rush onward to the sea. Eventually, the sun will evaporate the water, bring it up to the clouds as vapor, and the wind will carry it somewhere to drop down to earth again as rain, rain which fills the streams again. How many times has this process taken place with these particular drops of water? How many beings have drunk this water? How many of my ancestors drank from the same well as I drink today? And if this water, which sustains all beings, in the process of working through me, holds some of my essence, then am I in turn part of the water? Was I a stream, a rainstorm, a glacier? The circularity of possibilities entices me. In order to live, we all need water. The bodies of mammals are primarily made of water. Equally, plants and trees, creatures of land and sky and sea require this element. From our first moments of being, we look for water as milk to drink or water to sip in or swim into. Spiritually, people also seek places near water for comfort, healing, and knowledge. There is a consciousness we as humans connect with when we are in or near the water. We drink water to refresh ourselves and to live. We wash with water for comfort and health. The waters can promise rebirth in baptism, as Jesus was baptized in the River Jordan, and his followers born to a new spiritual life with their baptisms. Purification, as Hindus bathe in the Ganges to cleanse themselves of karma from previous lives and thereby assure an auspicious rebirth. At the Jewish New Year, Jewish observers perform tashlich and throw bread into moving bodies of water and thereby cast away their sins to move cleansed into a new year. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, sat by a river until he learned many truths about life, about how things are connected, and that time is an illusion. He listened to the river and was blessed. Water consciousness takes many familiar forms around us, not only in the body, but also as the ocean, river, streams, lakes, rain, and springs. Most people I know find solace by sitting or walking near the ocean with its endless rhythm of waves rushing up to the shore, sliding back to the water, rushing forward, sliding back. The predictability of wave motion, as well as the sound, is soothing in a way few sounds are soothing to us. Walking by the ocean, I do not often think of the moon, beyond perhaps enjoying the path of moonlight on the water. But the ocean waters truly connect also with celestial spheres. The tide is determined by the moon, our light in the dark night skies. Waters in the blood of a woman are also affected by moonlight, tides, and cycles, the menses, the monthly passing of fluids we see as evidence of a body's cycles, but which occur due to an entanglement of sea and sky. This is life, one aspect of the life we experience, and it flows. If water is the soul of the earth, is water the resting place of my soul? I have no sure ideas of where my spirit rests, or even if it has a form. I think the soul energy, the spiritual infusion of water that courses through me, is part of that spirit that makes me, well, me. Of all the forms of water, I think perhaps I am most like a lake. When I lie on the top of the water and float to the center, I see the sky, the clouds reflected around me, the trees on the edge, maybe some fish below tickling my feet. Like me, this lake has a limited lifespan, despite the animation of the current existence. As soon as a lake is born, it begins to die, filling slowly with silt and debris. It slowly transforms into a bog and then into land. That water is filling the space and then has transformed. It's gone underground to streams, up above to clouds, onward through the bodies of animals and people. That seems to me to be life, to be the sustainer, to be embodied soul. For the blessings of this life, we thank you, God, for the flow of water, for the moon and sun. Now I invite you to sit in the energy of these words and take a breath and prepare to drift down the river.
Tao in the world is like a river flowing home to the sea.
When it hurts, we return to the banks of certain rivers.
For the raindrop, joy is entering the river.
I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding.
Rivers know this. There is no hurry. We shall get there someday.
Silence is an ocean. Speech is a river. When the ocean is searching for you, don't walk into the river. Listen to the ocean.
Oceans by David White. But tired of land, we open ourselves to oceans. Tired of time, we give back all that we've taken. Tired of ourselves, we open ourselves to ourselves at last, sensing the waves and great abyss of the sea beyond, the ocean stretching on sand, and the long view on the still sea that leads to another life. And we go out as the fish go out, leaving the taste of the rivers we know, joining the dark, invisible weight of what we would become, joining the dark, invisible weight of what we would become. The calm sense of movement, seeing the others forming our shoals, and the scales on our sides filling the depth with trembling stars. In that depth, returns instinctual, the moon harvests the long years and binds them in sheaves in a circle. And we return too, for home from the sea, we come to the river. For home from the sea, we come to the river, turning the ocean's face toward land, opening to silence as the salmon opens to the sweet water in a saltless stream. Opening to silence as the salmon opens to the sweet water in a saltless stream.
A reflection by Thich Nhat Hanh. When we look at the ocean, we see that each wave has a beginning and an end. A wave can be compared with other waves, and we can call it more or less beautiful, higher or lower, longer lasting or less long lasting. But if we look more deeply, we see that a wave is made of water. While living the life of a wave, it also lives the life of water. It would be sad if the wave did not know that it is water. It would think, someday I will have to die. This period of time is my lifespan, and when I arrive at the shore, I will return to non-being. These notions will cause the wave fear and anguish. We become arrogant when things go well, and we become afraid of falling, of being low or inadequate. But these are relative ideas, and when they end, a feeling of completeness or satisfaction arises. Liberation is the ability to go from the world of signs to the world of true nature. We need the relative world of the wave. We also need to touch the water, the ground of our being, to have real peace and joy. We will bring our time together to a close by returning to the ocean. When the soundtrack completes, our shared experience will be over and our Zoom room will be closed. Thank you for joining us this evening as we honored the wisdom of water. Blessings to all.